What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and this video I want to talk about some pretty scary stuff going on with Bioware. Now, they are phrasing it as kind of a positive, right? They're talking about this new age and, refocusing their efforts. A lot of corporate talk, right? Which, at the end of the day, I think when you really read through their posts, you say, "Oh, dear God, like what are you actually saying here?" I don't think it's good. And obviously, I do think this is a direct, impact because of Dragon Age. I really believe, I think I'm not the first one to tell you this, Mass Effect is it. If they cannot do Mass Effect and that game fails, I really believe BioWare is done. Now, you could say the BioWare of right now is not the BioWare of the past, and I would actually agree with you, but still, I don't know. I don't want companies that have like these legacy names and, they used to be so powerful and so good. I personally don't want to see them close. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to feel, but I don't want BioWare to shut down. I want a redemption story. I want a redemption arc, and they haven't had it yet, but I really think it's Mass Effect or bust. So let's read their post, and then we're going to kind of read through, I think, some of the lying that's going on here. Hello, everyone. Today we are turning towards the future and preparing for the next chapter in BioWare's story. As we announced in August of 23, we are changing how we build games to meet the needs of our upcoming projects and hold ourselves to the highest quality standards. A lot of corporate talk there, right? Now that Dragon Age has been released, a core team at BioWare is developing the next Mass Effect game under the leadership of veterans from the original trilogy, including Michael Gamble. You can just go down the list. There's a lot of people that did make the original Mass Effect game. In keeping with our fierce commitment to innovating during the development and delivery of Mass Effect, we have challenged ourselves to think deeply about delivering the best experience to our fans. We are taking this opportunity between full development cycles to reimagine how we work at BioWare. Given the stage of development, we don't require support from the full studio. We have incredible talent here at BioWare, and so we have worked diligently over the past few months to match many of our colleagues with other teams at EA that had open roles that were a strong fit. Today's news will see BioWare becoming more agile, focused studio that produces unforgettable RPGs. We appreciate your support as we build a new future for BioWare. So I think a lot of garbage there. I gotta be, look, I can respect people. I can respect people that don't agree with me, but don't lie to me. Okay, that's a core principle to me. Do not lie to my face. Now, okay, what really are lies here? Well, let's go over some of the truths, right? I believe them. They are taking some of the team and they are saying, "Oh my dear God, like you guys are screwed if we don't find something for you because you can't work here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna work. We're gonna find a job for you making the next Madden game, and I hope you like it. Go on, gets right. That's what's just happened here. Okay, that is, I think, reading between the lines is these people, a lot of these people would have been fired, would have been let go, or whatever situation you want to say. They would not have been working. They wouldn't have been collecting paychecks. So instead, they're focused on moving them basically outside of BioWare, although they still work, I guess, in BioWare, right? But it's kind of at this point, and I guess what they didn't really say here, even though this is literally what's happening, they create their own games, yes, but they are now a support team. And I got to tell you something, if you know the industry, when you get demoted from a team that makes your own projects to a team that kind of does that, but now also you are supporting other teams, there's only a couple ways that goes, right? Number one, you close down entirely. Number two, you become just a support team and you will never make an original game of your own ever again. Number three, you find a way to bounce back and then you can make your own games. Those are the three ways it goes. I think BioWare is on the downward one, though, right? I think they're heading towards, you're either going to be working on Battlefields and Maddens and FIFAs, or you're going to be closed because you're not going to make games after Mass Effect. And and look, honestly, I do not say that lightly. Like I default to what I said in the beginning. Mass Effect I freaking love, and they better not mess this up. I think they did mess Dragon Age up, but I really, really hope they don't mess Mass Effect up. And I'm not a doomsday guy. You can go look at my other videos. Like, I'm generally optimistic. I want the next Mass Effect game to be good. I want BioWare to be good. I truly, in my heart, can tell you, I think this just shows it. This news thing just shows it. If they do not succeed with Mass Effect, if that game bombs, it's over. It is over. That is their last chance. Now, in terms of, like, in my opinion, why I think they're doing this wrong, why in God's name are they not putting everybody on Mass Effect? Now, again, I mean, I can think of a couple of reasons, and some can be development stuff, right? Like they just simply truly at this stage of development do not need everybody. Okay, I mean, that's fair enough, and I guess that is probably the default answer. You could also argue, and I wouldn't really argue against you that much, do you want people that worked on the Veilguard to work on the Mass Effect game? And I would say very few of them. So you could argue that one, right? Like, do I need that team to just jump over? Would they hurt Mass Effect or would they help Mass Effect? I think, from my experience, they would end up hurting it more than they would help it. So you could argue that. Whatever the reasoning may be, though, it's just odd because you can kind of see the writing on the walls. You can kind of tell it's Mass Effect or nothing. So and I think, honestly, maybe they see it too, where they say, all right, well, if we truly do not need people on this team, and maybe we just don't want to mess with it because we just want to make sure it's as good as can be, we're going to put these people in other positions, and we are going to pray to every god in the book that Mass Effect is a good game, okay? And the final thing I want to say, though, which we kind of just skimmed over, but I think it might actually be the most important part. So Mass Effect is not even in full development. It's not even in full production because they say in between full production of these games. So Dragon Age is over. They're in pre-production for Mass Effect. Let me tell you something, okay? For a game that's as big as I imagine Dragon Age was and Mass Effect will be, when you go into full production, you're still looking at like 2+ years. They're not even there yet. So at this point, I think best case scenario is you get Mass Effect the final year of this console generation, 2027. And I'm talking like summer or fall, or like a month before the next consoles come out, okay? At worst, you are getting this game into late 2027, maybe even to 2028, and it is now a PS6 and next Xbox game. And I cannot think of a worse way, of handling this situation because they've already done it for me. They've already found that way. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. That to me, that is probably one of, if not the biggest things, right? Because you could say, okay, well, there's the quality and like what the game will actually be. Then there's, okay, how far out is the game? And, this addresses that part, right? This game is probably at least 2 to 3 years out. So if you're expecting it anytime soon, which I don't think many people are, but if you are, I would drop that immediately. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.